It's a miracle, doc, they counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday night CrossFit Talk. It is me. It is Jamie. Carolyne will be along in a minute or two. Yeah. What you wearing?
I got the jersey. I don't know if you can see it over here. Let's see. Can you see?
And there is the autograph. Do you know what's crazy is the Chicago Bears podcast that I listen to, CHGO, they have that exact jersey on the table today, on flipped over on the back, and they have he autographed that one too.
Yeah.
And it's like on their table, their coffee table in front of them as they're talking about the Bears game today.
That's awesome.
So you got the jersey because you beat Bajent.
Yeah.
And you were the fastest female to do so.
I'm good at a couple things.
41.
Yeah. Yeah. I like burpees.
Are you 41 yet or 40?
I'm 41.
Okay. Wow. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. It's exciting.
Man, I hang out with some badass women. The Bears look good today. They sat all their starters. The Dolphins did not.
Right.
So the fact the defense stopped Tua with the second stringers was really happy for me. Yeah, good showing. Not an exciting game to watch, but it was fun to see.
I know. I'm not gonna wear it the whole podcast. I just wanted to wear it to get on. It's gonna get hang in the gym. I just wanted to rub it in Scott's face and wear it on the beginning of the show.
Hey. You're gonna put it up in the gym?
Yeah.
To see Jamie in a Bears jersey, like I couldn't pay enough to see this, and this just makes me so happy. But Ken did say, as a memorabilia collector and auctioneer, you don't wear an authentic autographed jersey, Miss Jamie. Yeah, that's kind of a no-no. But hey.
There you go.
There it is. We have Craig saying really cool jersey. Sweet jersey, Jamie. Yeah, she earned it, man. She earned it. Can't just, yeah. I'm jazzed to see her in a jersey like that. So, yeah. Make America Healthy Again is a good jersey too, or shirt too. There you go. And we're going to talk about stuff like that. Was the Bears game on TV? It was on the NFL Network. And I'm sure they'll replay it all week because the NFL Network doesn't have a lot of content. So they just replay the games. Tyson played the whole first half.
Mm-hmm.
Looked good after the second drive.
Yeah. He didn't get a lot of time to hold that ball.
No. The line that was bad last year are the second stringers he had to play behind today. And all the good ones we went and got the day off. So yeah, he had to do that.
That's what's tough.
Crazy.
Right? They're forced to look good with not the ideal circumstances, right? So it's like, how much can you stand out in these situations?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. My wife's a Steeler fan. We spent last night watching them and then the Bears today. So, yep. Fun weekend of that. Before we get into too much, you guys have anything new before we get into the CrossFit stuff? We already had questions waiting for us.
I know.
When we came in tonight. So I'm going to go with Larry's first. And we titled tonight, like, looking at all the programming. And so Larry said, fan experience, athlete experience, stream, and everything in between is important. But without rounded programming, the test isn't legitimate. So yeah, it's the most important. We're going to get into that tonight. And then Howie, $5. Thank you so much. 2 questions for tonight, guys. Does Hatfield need to humble himself to have a shot at winning the games? And I'll leave it at that. I'll let you guys answer that.
He's a tough one for me in that I don't know if he's
like sarcastic with his...
Yeah, like playing a character almost, like fake it till you make it. I don't know exactly. Like, I just don't know him, and he's tough to read. And it's the same excellence, like the same thing over and over. So I just think he has like 1 or 2 lines that he likes to repeat, and he's just playing a role almost. I mean, I'm sure he has some confidence. Like, you can't do that stuff, run yourself in the ground every day and not think you have some skills.
Like, I don't see him as overly cocky anywhere. Like, I don't think he's like bragging like he's good, like he's winning for sure or anything like that. And no one's even like on the same playing field as him. Like, I don't really see that coming from him. So I don't think he needs to necessarily humble himself. I think he knows he's competitive with, you know, those top athletes, and depending on any given programming or day, he could be on top. And it just happened that weekend he wasn't. He was 5th or wherever he finished.
Right.
Which happens.
Yep.
So I believe that he isn't that cocky. I believe that other people are cocky for him, and they've pushed him into a spotlight that he hasn't yet deserved to be in. He hasn't had the opportunities to podium or to finish top 5 to then say that you're going to win the games and be as dominant as Matt Frazier.
Yeah.
Like, when that's being labeled on you, he didn't make that label. Someone else did. Right. And so now he has to wear this crown that somebody else put on him.
Well, we've talked him up. You and I said he was going to be great, right?
But I'd never said he was going to be the most dominant athlete in the sport.
Right.
Right. Like, can he compete? Sure. But this field right now with the men, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in Fact or Fiction, like, it is so good. Like, anybody's going to have a hard time winning the games.
Yeah.
It's just, it's too good to have someone bestow this crown on you. We'll get into, and that's where I'll leave that. And then the second part of the question is brighter future, Ricky, Adler, Roman. I'll go first. Jeff Adler. One bad games doesn't make a downturn. You don't know what he's dealing with. He's more private than the other people.
And I feel like he's not one that's going to put an excuse out there for any injuries. But you can tell he's not at 100% with whatever he's dealing with injury-wise or body-wise. And he never wrote any excuse in his post-games post, like, or his post for the games. And, like, he'll get back to work. And, like, there's no doubt in my mind that he can, you know, if he's healthy, he's the guy.
When I think Roman, it took too long to get into the country. So he missed his prime. And that shortened his window. I think with Ricky, he had to sit out 4 years. So again, a shorter window of what he could do. Jeff put in the time, paid the dues, and he's never been an over competitor. So I don't think like his body has been beat up like others has. So I would go with Adler. You can't go by recency bias.
Right.
Jamie,
Ricky did look really good at the games though, and had a really good year in terms of, but he looked great at Torian as well. So for a lot of people that considered him, you know, washed up, you know, he's showing that he's right back in the mix of things and competitive again.
And again, with this field, 2 bad events, you fall down. It's going to be a hard climb back up. It just is. Jamie?
I do. I think Adler's probably the most well-rounded out of that group and has the higher ceiling.
All right. Since that was a paid question, I wanted to make sure we got to that. Roman's washed. Dude's having a ball out there, though. Of all the male athletes, the guy who was having the most fun was Roman. And I loved seeing that version of Roman out on the floor. He just was having a ball at the games.
He gets a lot of cheers, doesn't he?
Well, and he was being goofy running out to his lane. Like he was doing stuff that made the crowd like almost fall in love with him again. Like he was just like a 12-year-old boy with energy going out to his lane every time.
That's pretty awesome.
It's hard to not love that attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did find it interesting, just last thing, that James said this morning in his interview with Savon that he thinks maybe Jeff is running too much. Which I was surprised that James said anything, but that maybe he's worked on his running so much after being the strong guy that now he just needs to bring the balance back in the other direction.
That's an interesting take.
But like, if I look at Jeff would not win a max snatch event. Like he just because he has some strengths in certain things, like especially power cleans and jerks, stuff like that he can cycle. I don't think he always won a max event all the time. Like if you do a max snatch, I don't like that's his worst lift. I believe so. And I don't think that's a lot of times people that are Olympic lifters that are really good are not necessarily the best squatters. And I think maybe the back squat may have been one of his weaker ones. And then if he's dealing with some sort of injury, like that could affect as well his placements there. So it's hard to tell if he's swung his fitness too much on like the running spectrum if we don't see a healthy Jeff competing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Trained Olive, Dallin has been running a lot too, but Dallin needs to run. That is a weakness of Dallin's that he is trying to overcome. Jeff has overcome that weakness. He's the best runner in the field now.
Right.
I mean, Ricky and him on it, depending on the day, they are the two best runners in the field. Craig says, James discussing the differences between himself and Colton's weaknesses and strengths was cool. And if you didn't hear it, he was talking about how he looks at it as it's a race. Can he get the short guy stuff down faster than the short guy can get the tall stuff down? Because that's the difference in who wins an event is, can he get better at the thrusters and the handstand push-ups faster than Colton can get better at the wall balls and the rower?
Yeah. Rope climb, box jumps.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I missed that part. I caught like the tail end of his interview with Savon, so I definitely missed that part. I'll have to go back and watch the beginning. That is interesting.
Trained Olive, think the difference in programming was a detriment to Jeff. Maybe he's not strong at classic CrossFit. I think Jeff is strong at classic CrossFit, but I think anybody can have a bad weekend out of the blue one.
He's won the Open. He's won quarterfinals. Like that's classic CrossFit. I mean, there was just 8 out of the 10 events for the boys is like for Jason Hopper, 8 out of his 10 events were sub 8.5 minutes. Like that's crazy. And like, I think some of the power output, maybe he couldn't maybe get it as much as some of those other guys, but Jeff is amazing at classic CrossFit. Right. He's always been great. Like you give him any workout in the Open or quarters that was in the box, he's crushed that. I still think there's some sort of injury he's not disclosing, and he did his best with what he could do that weekend
I
with the
agree.
programming too.
Yeah.
All right. So on to our rundown. I wanted to it's been a week, and I wanted us all to kind of do this, but I wanted to start with Carolyne since she participated in it. Just one last look back at this year's CrossFit Games, just your feelings, your overall vibes, things like that.
It's great to be back. It went by really fast. Like 3-day competition for the games like felt really short compared to usual. Like it was oftentimes 4, or it kind of dragged to even 5 sometimes, because like you'd go Thursday, or like even Wednesday, Thursday off, and then like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think one year we went 4 in a row, I think. So it went by fast. I thought, just seeing the athletes compete, seeing the fans there, interacting with people, it was great. I thought that the community that was there, like it was there wasn't that many fans, if I'm being honest, compared to the past years that I've competed. But the ones that were there were passionate. They were loud. They were great. I thought, what about the venue? Venue was fine. We had a little bit of a walk to go certain places. It was nice to get a secondary warm-up area that was nice and close. Like for the back squat event, I was expecting us to have like a long corral time. Like we were able to lift a minute and a half before we got onto the floor, which was so amazing. How nice that like they kept that window down, because like you don't want to be going to do a max back squat under certain like 10 minutes of resting. So I thought that they were really good with that. We had briefings in the evening. Sometimes the days were a little bit long because like you'd finish competing and you wanted to go home, but then you had the briefing for all of the next day's events go. But that was okay. My experience, I mean, I did my best on the workouts given. That's where I fall with my fitness with this group of athletes. A couple workouts, I think some missed execution stuff here and there, where I think I could have maybe performed better, rested a little bit less. But overall, I think proud of how I competed at this stage in my career too, and just was happy for another opportunity to be on the floor with the best in the world. So,
Jamie, thoughts?
I mean, it's nice to hear people's perspectives. I'm always curious on the warm-up situation, walking from one venue to another. Really nice to hear that you guys got to warm up that back squat all the way right up to it pretty much. I think I personally wouldn't have loved the walk from, like, I almost think even at Madison, the corral from the one building over to to get to North Park, or both. I mean, you had to go over the ramp or whatever, the steps to get to the one. I don't think it's ideal. I mean, being in a one building would be best, but I mean,
yeah, like the warm-up area was nothing like the size of what we've seen in Madison and stuff. But I didn't feel like we necessarily clashed with like people using machines or warm-up space. I felt like for the most part, we were able to warm up at the pace that we wanted. Like the teams weren't there at the same time of us very often, like overtaking all the equipment before like they had gone on. Like there was still a little bit of a rest time, but like between that, you still felt like you had your warm-up space, even though the space was definitely much smaller than what we've seen in the past.
But you did have 2 warm-up areas. You had like a primary and a secondary.
Yeah, and they'd bring us to the secondary one about a half hour, 45 minutes before the event. That would be the one that was like right by the corral, and then you go onto the floor.
Kenneth DeLapp, the Tiger Woods pose after the wall balls. I think that was after the pegboard.
It was the pegboard when you got that last.
The pegboard, it still lives rent free in my head.
Yeah, I blew up on that one. I missed a pegboard at the top. Like I was at the top of a pegboard in the round of 3. I was doing really well at first, and then once I missed that pegboard and fell back, like I just started resting, and then it was like my biceps had blown up and I was working way too hard. So I was happy to get that last one right in time. I was like, please, I hope this will make a difference in the workout. Actually, with the way the pegboard went with the later heats, it did make a little bit of a factor for sure, in terms of my placing and beating some people there.
Yeah, for me, it was a weird week because it was the earliest I'd ever gotten there, and it was the latest it ever started. So, like, I was there to film with Hattie for a couple days, but in the evenings, there really wasn't anything to do. So I ended up going to trivia night with Amanda Hari, which ended up being like one of the highlights of the week. Like, we had so much fun, and I want to turn it into like a media night out at the games where we like go do trivia night together. Because everybody was jealous that they didn't come with us. But then once the game started, from the minute I walked onto the grounds, the vibe was just different than last year. Even before the Lazar tragedy, it was just a different vibe altogether. And I know people were saying that Albany sucked and it wasn't a great host. But man, the minute you got on the grounds of the games, it was just a different vibe. And yeah, the crowds could have been bigger. It also was the biggest arena we've ever been in. So it's going to look smaller regardless of how many people you get in there. And they need to do a better job at getting people in the doors. And we're going to talk about that later. But everybody I ran into, everybody I talked to was so positive, so uplifting, so energetic, ready to go. Like, it felt like back in like the 2017-18 years at the games. And I really, really had a good time. And I don't want to lose that with everything going on, because I think it was the first step to healing from last year and maybe a lack of focus in 23 and 22 and 21. I think we lost our focus. Having athlete or affiliate gatherings, having coaching gatherings at the games means something. And we can't forget that.
Haven't they always done that?
They have, but they didn't do like the classes like they did this year. They had a gather, like in Madison, they have a room called the affiliate gathering area where you can just go hang out, and there's like hors d'oeuvres and stuff. But it's not like, it wasn't a special coaching session for them. They have a general public coaching session at Madison out in Vendor Village, but this was just for the affiliate owners and the coaches, which I thought was cool. And I thought that the amenities for the media were the best they've ever been.
That's good.
Now, what that means, I don't know. Some people probably don't even care, but we had a nice big room to like put our stuff in, to work on stuff, to edit, to do stuff like that. And I felt like CrossFit was the most accommodating to those who were supporting them, which was a really cool feeling. And that's really just what I wanted to echo, because I really do think it is a healing process from last year, and I want to keep this momentum going. And it scares me what I'm hearing out of the sale now, that who the hell knows where it's going, which is not the thing I want to hear. Mm-hmm. I wanted to hear it was more like kind of funneled down to one direction, and now it looks like it's still up in the air in all different directions.
Nightmare. I have one other question for Carolyne. Did you feel like 30 was the appropriate number of athletes?
I think it's definitely better than 40. I think yeah, I mean, I think 20 just gets to be a little bit too little sometimes. And I know people don't like to watch the first heat, but I mean, we're always we were the guinea pigs all the time for other people to kind of watch, and then they game plan, and then they get to see times and everything. But I don't know. I still like to see at least 30 athletes play a role in some way or another in workouts to mix things up. Yeah, I mean, I think 30 was good.
Yeah, I feel like the 3 heats was perfect. I almost would like to see, and I don't know if floor wise it would work, heats of 12 and have 36 people. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Because I like the 3 heats. I think 4 gets to be too long.
Mm-hmm.
3 is just enough, where I think there becomes like people stay engaged for all of the heats. If it's only 2 or just 1 heat, it just goes by way too fast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 was the appropriate number for sure.
Shay says, as a viewer, 30 was awesome. I watched every heat and was excited about the first heat too, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth asks a question. What about the interaction with the public fans in the athlete area? Sounds weird and kind of not a rest area.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, where the athlete village was, there was an escalator that went above it to get to vendor village. So there were some fans yelling down to athletes below while they were trying to rest in between events. Did you encounter any of that, Carolyne?
Not me personally, where I was sitting in the back. And like I was away enough that I don't think I had anyone like bother me, but I'm also not of the public image where I would get, called upon by a bunch of people. But I thought it was fine. Like you don't, I get people want to stay to themselves too, like during the weekend and be all focused and things. But I mean, we don't get to do what we do without the fans being there. So while, getting treatment or whatever, if you run into some fans that are waiting there, just greeting them, saying hi, all of that, I think is important to do. And it didn't bother me.
Patrick Clark, Carolyne, thanks for being so kind and helpful to the game's rookies, particularly Sierra. That's not right. Syria.
Did she? Yeah, I guess I watched. She speaks pretty good English. I watched Chiller's video on her.
They can barely manage showing athletes with 10 per
That
heat.
is true. Yeah. Fair point.
With only 3 heats, there was someone you wanted to watch in all heats for me.
Yeah. I do. I think three heats is spot on. I don't know. My mind would just goes to 36 as a ideal number.
I think that would be cool. Also, I think that's a good point. 12s.
Yeah. Again, I'm more about getting the right people there instead of the number.
Yeah.
But I did notice that the 3 kept it moving better throughout the day. Like it was much easier to follow.
Agree. Yep.
20 teams was perfect as well. I agree with that. Carolyne, you don't give yourself enough credit. F. She's our F girl.
I got to have t-shirts.
All right. In other news, CrossFit released this week the new hybrid CrossFit L2. And it is a way to do your L2 with a little bit of online and a little bit of in-person. So 1 day of online, 1 day of in-person. L2 is about coaching. You're never going to be able to remove all the in-person because a lot of it is about your tactile cues, your verbal cues, and being kind of judged and corrected on those by the seminar staff. So they have to keep it at least 1 full day. I wanted to get your thoughts as to offering it as a hybrid.
Is it the same price?
I believe so.
I don't mind it. You still give people the option to have the 2 days. You're not forcing it to be hybrid. Some of the content can be just read through like online material and like having a quiz or something like that. And then obviously the coaching part is the most valuable part of the level 2. I love, like I've taken the level 2 twice. because one of them like expired or was going to expire. And like I love the level 2 and the coaching experience that's there, and like meeting people. Like I would do the 2-day, but that's me. If people feel like they just need the 1 day, then I think, having more options for different people that have different schedules can be good.
Yeah, I almost feel like for your first go of it, you shouldn't even probably have the option to do the hybrid. But I can totally see as a renewal the appeal for that hybrid option. But it is about the in-person coaching, and I feel like for your first go, you should probably take the 2-day in person.
What I like about the 2-day in person is like a lot of times you'll get coaching experience or coaching on the first day, and then you go back and kind of review your material, or maybe review like in your head what they said, so that you can reapply it the next day when you try again, maybe doing a different movement that you've taught, or you try again at the same movement. And I think allowing that time for reflection and studying of like how you can do better also is valuable to the coach to do like in a 2-day process, versus if the coaching was only done in 1 day where you get feedback and then you got to reapply it right away, like I don't know, an hour later.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's like I think there's a missed opportunity for like reflection and maybe learning from other people during the day. Yeah.
So here's my take, but I'm going to read Phil's thing first. It's good for people that work full time and can't give up a full weekend. My thing is, if you're going there for the 1 day, how hard is it to just add another day on to your L2? That it doesn't seem to be taking a lot away from me to have it hybrid. So I took my L1 the first time fully in person. The second time I renewed it by doing the online. I found that the second time was much harder. One, you're doing all the movements on a Zoom call, trying to get corrected by a coach, and it's condensed into a 4-hour period. Which makes it very hard. And then it's a lot of material, kind of self-paced. And I'm just not good in those environments. So I'm going to lean more towards you in person, for sure.
I mean, I like Andrew's comment here. Part of the uniqueness of the CrossFit seminars is that they are in person rather than online, like other certifications. And I agree with that, especially for the coaching for level 2. But
all right, we're back. But yeah, I think anything to kind of bring more people together is a good thing.
Yeah.
So they also launched a new campaign, and I'm going to show that real quick here. It is that it's called CrossFit is the Cure. This is their social media. We hate to break it to you. There are no shortcuts, just hard work, CrossFit. And it goes deeper into CrossFit is the cure. And I believe the only person that received the email was Carolyne. So I think it was just sent to affiliate owners where they were given kits for social media to use going forward. And I think that's all that they had. Some other stuff up, but it looks like they've taken those down.
And both CrossFit and CrossFit Games posted those pictures with different athletes on their on their thing. No, on the email to the affiliate owners, like it just said that tomorrow they'll be like dropping some stuff and something about the media. Let me find my email. One of the most exciting things right now is that we are back telling the CrossFit story the way it deserves to be told through bold, engaging media. Over the past few months, we fired up the media engines with Hear Their Stories, Drop In Diaries, Road to the Games, and the education-driven Own Your Health campaign. Tomorrow, we take the next big step with CrossFit is the Cure. This one was built for you, so as in I think the affiliate owners. We're putting a stake in the ground, reminding people who we are and that we never left. You'll receive campaign assets straight to your inbox, ready to use and share in whatever way fires up your community. In addition, we'll be investing to spread this message across screens with TV, social, and YouTube campaigns. We are nothing without your passion, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, let the momentum build or begin. So I thought that was an interesting email to receive today. Which goes in line with, like, I think Barbell Spin had posted something like August 11th. And I guess that would be tomorrow. So whatever this new campaign might be what they're referring to.
And then the caption on these is F the quick fix. CrossFit is the cure.
I mean, I feel like this is what they needed to get back to. They were trying to push that, hey, we're for everybody. We're trying to dumb things down. And I worry that was not the route to take. It is hard. And you need to be willing to, like, really buckle down and want these changes, or it's not going to work for you.
And the email was from Jenna Hawka.
Jody says, I hope affiliate owners take advantage and start posting more. None of the boxes around me do any consistent social media to grow their gym. I think what is more important to me is that, and I talked about it all week on my lunch show, about the North Star. There is a North Star that CrossFit has that others don't have, but they have not been pointing in that direction. Now they are again. And that was evident at the games. And now they're using this campaign in the week after the games to point at it even more. And that gives me hope.
Yeah.
I just hope the new owners take it in the right direction. The PAC says they went over all this at the coaches conference. Yeah, that's what they had at this year's games. For 90 minutes, they are also going to run TV ads on ESPN.
Nice.
So it looks like lots of investment in terms of media, which has been, I've seen a big difference this past year with, obviously the road to the games and all of those different stories and content from CrossFit. So yeah, looking to ride that momentum, especially from the games and build upon that to kind of get the CrossFit community, pushing all in here.
So look for that in the coming weeks. I'm anxious to see how that looks, the look and feel of all that, and excited to see what it looks like. I wanted to get your take on, there's a rumor out there. I don't have anything behind this other than athletes saying Dave told them. But that is that next year's games for the 20th games are going to be back in Carson. I just wanted to get your thoughts. We don't know if it's true or not, but would you like the games to go back to Carson?
My thoughts on California.
But the audience doesn't.
I think it'd be a miss. I think as much as people complained about Albany, the city, I think there's the same similar complaints about Carson, the city, for staying, lodging, everything. And I just think it's too expensive. It's cost prohibitive for people to get to California. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why travel there is so much more expensive than other airports, but I don't know. I think it'd be a miss. I think they think that it would bring all this nostalgia and they'd get a huge influx of tickets sold, and I don't think they would. I don't think it'd be much different than Albany.
I think something more central, like the Midwest, was perfect in Madison. But something more central that is easy to get to makes the most sense, in my opinion. than Carson, but I could see why some people would want it to go back there.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, or Columbus. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how the Masters games go. You know, what the hotel situation is like, how easy it is to get around, food. Yeah, I mean, it might be the ideal location. I'm very curious, like I said earlier to Carolyne, about one building for, like, is this the right setup? Are we right where we need to be? A private warm-up area, walking right next to into the next room for our floor. I don't know. I'm curious to see how Columbus is.
It's been fun because a lot of the Masters athletes are DMing me, asking me about things around the venue. Like, what are gyms I can use? What are meal prep companies I can use? And like, those aren't things that I use a lot down around where the venue is. But there's like 20 meal prep companies in Columbus.
Wow.
There's like 30 CrossFit gyms in Columbus. There are tons of restaurants right around the where the venue is. There are hotels out the wazoo. It is, it's super crazy how much is available right there. And you are only probably 5 minutes from the Rogue headquarters.
I think that in itself, I'm surprised Rogue hasn't pushed for this so that they don't have the same like shipping costs. They could get cooler, like anything. I mean, just think some of like the snail or anything that they have, how much easier it'd be to get there, and we could use that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it is literally right there, right down the street.
What was up with all was it Atlanta was the background on all the like downtimes in between events?
I don't. That's one of the rumors too. I don't put a lot of credence into that one. I don't even know if I don't think I really believe the Carson one.
I mean, I think they want to be able to do it. Whether it works out, who knows? I mean, I think they think the same thing. Like, that'd be really cool for the 20th. I don't know if it makes financial sense. I don't know.
Do you know that for a fact Rogue is outfitting the Masters games? They did last year. I'm assuming they are, but even if they're not, and you want to go buy stuff, it's right there.
Yeah. I'm not saying for us. I'm saying if the individuals went there, Rogue being able to get like their specialized equipment over for individuals. I think we're going to have basic equipment, whether it's Rogue or whoever. I actually think Bob and Joe have a lot of their own equipment and stuff, and some of that comes through, but I think Rogue is supplying some stuff.
I just love Madison. Like, I thought that was such a great location for the games, but somewhere like Chicago could be interesting too, because that's very easy to get to. I don't know if the city's too big, but it's, central. I think it's central.
So what I'll tell you about Chicago, I actually ran a conference there with a group. It is so unionized in Chicago. Like, you can't plug in a light without the union coming and doing it. Like, it is crazy. And that ups the cost so much in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of Columbus too. I think that's a great college town too.
I didn't get to go to WFP, but I would be curious what people thought of Indianapolis, because I've heard nothing but good things about Indianapolis as a location for events in general. So I would be very curious about that location as well.
It's a conference capital. Like, they're known for that. So, but we'll get into other stuff. There was also an article this week. Our friend Tyler Watkins, love him to death, but he won't let P-Score die, reworked the scores of the CrossFit Games and said that we didn't crown the right fittest man on earth. That it would have been Ricky in P score instead of Jason Hopper, and Jason actually would have fell to 4th. That is insane to me.
Yeah.
We have never used P score in any event ever. To put any credence into this as a valid score at this point, when the only competition that uses it is Crash, is insane. And if you know it's P scoring, you're going to do the event differently.
Right. Yeah. It's tough to go back and score events post the event when athletes didn't know, because yes, you're right. Things would happen different.
I don't know what scoring that would be, Lex, but I want to see one that makes Carolyne number 1.
40-yard dash, broad jumps, agility.
She didn't say new event. She said scoring.
Oh, but I like the idea of P scoring, but I still don't like it for CrossFit because I still think it favors specialists. And I think what CrossFit does very well is like, you shouldn't be a specialist in anything. And for like, we make up these WODs every competition. They're brand new WODs that we think this is the test of the fittest. It can literally be a snatch one weekend and a clean another weekend, or a deadlift, about like a long distance run, a sprint. Like we make up these tests, and then we're going to give 100 points to some specialist in this workout. I don't know. I don't think that. I think it's about like being well-rounded in all the tests in terms of like your placement. Like I actually prefer the open scoring, to be honest. And I know that's not going to, a lot of people won't like that, but I think that favors well-roundedness more than getting rewarded for a first place and then a last place and then 2 middles. In our scoring, the 2 middles are worse. And I would say that someone that has a first and a last is not as well-rounded. And the way that we score, that person would be ahead because we're like, oh, you get 100 points. Mm-hmm. And like they're ahead. And that makes no sense to me in our sport of fitness. Like it should be about overall placement. But I get this, like, how far behind were you in this test? So I get what the P score does. But at the end of the day, we're just making up tests every year that are different, and we're saying that this is the test of the fittest.
Yeah.
See me rolling.
And things can change every time.
CrossFit probably can't afford it, but San Diego Convention Center is really nice. An all-in-one long, big building with lots of hotels around. If you're going nostalgia, I would almost be in more favor of Del Mar in San Diego than Carson. It's still not centralized. It's still probably more expensive, but at least San Diego's a nice place to go. The weather is beautiful year round, and you're in the Del Mar Fairgrounds. It would be more as nostalgic as Carson.
Yeah.
I heard if you say P score 3 times, Tyler appears.
P score. My Phil's comment here is my entire issue. I like P score, but prefer game scoring for the games. Programming matters a lot with P score. That's my entire issue with P score. Is the programming is so important. I don't think you can have a single modality event with P score. I think it's insane.
I agree with that as well.
And I mean, we saw it with Tyler talking about Colton's ridiculous squat, and that is the problem. Like, you would have to be very intentional with your programming, and everything would have to have a MGW so that you were getting well-rounded people. But
yeah, because as soon as you do a single modality specialist test, like people could steal so many points, and like it's just,
and then ride on with that, and not even yeah.
And it's hard to and they could be decent at everything else, but they stole so many points in one event of their and it just happened to be that like a back squat instead of a deadlift because 2 different people will do well.
Right.
Like on just whatever we value that weekend, which is why it is a test of the fittest, but I just think at the end of the day, it's whoever wins that weekend of that test of what it is.
And yes, it would not be viewer friendly. That it would be confusing.
I think that if you're trying to bring on new viewers and you're trying to explain P scoring on top of the other crazy stuff we have going on,
Right.
you'll never get them involved. Plus, we all like to try to do the math in our head at the end of an event and say, ooh, this person moved from here to there. It would be impossible with P score.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into some fact or fiction. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Fact or fiction? The loss of festival tickets makes the games unaffordable.
I'm going to say fiction to that. Or sorry, I'm going to say fact to that. I agree.
Fact. I was like,
agree.
wait a second.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, it is way too expensive for the tickets at the CrossFit Games. Like, you're paying $400 for the weekend. Like, you want to bring a family and you want to get as many people in there, it's way too expensive. My family was like, I'm not going to go pay thousands of dollars. I'll watch you on YouTube. And I was like, well, you probably won't see me on YouTube because just the way our broadcast works. But it's just way too expensive. Like, you want as many people to see the show, as many people to fill the seats for the venue to look great. And I just think it's too expensive. Like, at least the festival tickets that were much cheaper, or day passes that were cheap, you got to see a few of the events, and then, you know, then you have the Coliseum or whatever, the MVP arena. But I still think whether you have a festival ticket or not, I think the tickets are too expensive. I think in a year like this year, when you're trying to get more people, it should have never been this expensive. Get people in the door, get people excited about the CrossFit Games, fill up that arena. Not empty like what it was for a lot of the weekend. And yeah, way too expensive.
Mm-hmm. It's like everything with CrossFit this year, just raising. It's same as affiliates. Like, you don't jump the prices that much. You want people to get into the space. Quit raising prices.
I'm going to go ahead and save mine for after this part of the question. Fact or fiction, leaving the festival concept takes CrossFit further away from its North Star.
Yeah, I'm going to say fact to this. Like, that goes hand in hand with my thought process for the games. The festival style is, like, let's face it, a lot of these diehard fans that go to the CrossFit Games, I know, like, my first year that I went, I wouldn't have wanted to spend $2,000 on a nice cushy seat and have my spot and be in an air conditioned room just watching people work out. Like, that's not what I went there for. And I don't want to sit on my butt for 8 hours straight, 4 days in a row. I want to be walking around. I want to go do some workouts. I need the festival experience. I need to be able to go work out. I love the sport. I like to move. I want to go do some of this stuff. I don't want to just cushy seat in air conditioning.
Yeah, I love the workouts, the little challenges in the vendor village, the big screen TVs, the beer tents, the community just chatting with food. Like, just there's a vibe to the CrossFit Games that you just don't get as much when everything is indoors, where you just have like the vendor village and then you go back to your seat. Like, there's just like not as much to do.
Here's my thing. It's the whole festival vibe. It's more than just the inside out events. It is about the campground. Mm-hmm. It's about the food trucks. It's about the big outdoor eating area where you can hang out with your friends and talk. It's about all the activations being done in the campground or at the vendor village or at a hotel down the street. It's going on all through the town, especially in Madison. And it's all over the place. And some of the coolest moments were sitting outside watching a big event in the Coliseum on the big screen with your friends, eating the food you just bought at the bowl truck down the street. And you're sitting there watching it on the big screen with everybody else. It was freaking phenomenal. And I do believe that, especially the campground, getting away from that has made us move away from our North Star.
Yeah, that campground was a great idea. And then like running through the campground and some of the events, like it was like that Madison location, like where it's literally an empty parking lot normally there and has nothing, and like how they transformed that into the games and everything that we got to do there is, that it's hard to replicate that elsewhere in the country.
Whoa. Jamie's riffing.
I'm passionate about my working out.
I missed all the little seminars. Well, and that's part of it. Like, I remember when you went with me the first time and you were looking for places to work out.
Yeah.
And then you came back with this awesome content, like working out with Shane and then interviewing him afterwards.
Yeah.
And then we had this content. Like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
It's not a festival, and at least have the RV park.
Yep.
When you're at an event for 3 to 4 days and have to have other things to do, every league all-star game, have festival weekend, Super Bowl week, etc. True.
Yes.
Jeff Bako, I thought community was a core concept. Was the food healthy? Most of it at Madison was pretty healthy.
Yeah, there were healthier options. Your little like steak and rice bowl.
Now, I don't think it was as healthy at Fort Worth or at MVP Arena.
Yeah.
If we could copy Madison and do it with a place that doesn't require building an entire stadium outside, that works.
Yeah, like I felt like MVP Arena, like it just like a 3-day weekend. It just felt like a large regional to me.
Yeah.
Like it was the games, but it felt like a bigger regional weekend than normal, but not quite the showiness of the games, the odd objects, the cool, like, wow factor that we saw at the games. Just regular CrossFit 9 events or 10 events, whatever it was, weekend.
I do think the energy was better than a semifinal, but probably the same as a regional.
Like Torian Pro.
Well, like even the old regionals where local affiliates would all gather at that regional to cheer on their individual athletes and teams. Those had a lot of energy that we've lost. CrossFit needs more outdoor events, can't be inside, climate controlled all the time. I was trying to take this away from just the programming aspect, because you can argue that we had great races all weekend long this weekend, and it was great. You can beg for the other stuff, sure. But I think what we're missing is the festival atmosphere with the outdoor events, more so than the event itself. You're forgetting a major con for Madison. Hopper won't go back to Madison.
He'll go to Madison. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. His more is outdoors.
Well, that should say something to you.
It should. He hasn't been training for outdoors. All right, next one. Fact or fiction? We will not have a back-to-back men's champion for at least 5 years.
I think fiction.
So I'm going to say fact, but I think it's so programming dependent that it's totally, I think it's possible to happen for sure. But because the races are so tight, I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, I think it can happen, but like you said, it's program dependent always. Like it's very rare that we'll get another, Matt Fraser, Rich,
Right.
Tia on the men's side, like someone that's just so dominant. But I think in 5 years someone can repeat. Sure.
We had look at the leaderboard from like 1st to 7th.
I know.
It could have been anybody. My thing is, it's going to be more unlikely to get a repeat than to get a new champion. And I'm not saying they're not going to repeat. Like Sprague could come back next year and repeat.
Sure.
It's just, I think the back-to-back, just by chance, because there's so many good athletes, is not going to happen. But then on the other hand, it could too.
Right.
Like it could just fall right for that person 2 years in a row.
Right.
It's just going to be harder for that to happen than it's happened in the past.
Yeah, it's like a 90-10.
Ken Walter says it'll be even longer than that. I like this one. Has more conflict between fact and fiction than the other two questions.
Yeah.
We have Kenneth with fiction, Craig with fact, Terry with fiction, Kat with fiction.
ADL thinks Pepper is going to.
CrossFit. 5 is tough, fiction. Fact from Vicky. Fluffy fit, fiction. What's the
It's
thing?
all the Peppers. He's saying Dalen will.
I thought it was somebody in between the Peppers.
No, it's green pepper and jalapeno pepper. Just pepper, pepper, pepper.
Oh. He hasn't even won one yet.
He's confident he's going to do it.
There's a chance we lose any of the interrupted boys to dad mode within 5 years. You don't lose men.
I mean, we lost Julian.
We lost Julian? Who's Julian?
When he made it to the games, he didn't go that year because
in 2018.
Yeah.
He had qualified and then
He wasn't favored to win.
Whatever. I guess
the men's bodies aren't transforming like the female. So
well, they all admitted that their spouses were critical in their placement. So if their spouse gets pregnant and isn't able to provide that role, it's going to be a little bit tougher road for them.
You're probably right. All right. Last one. Fact or fiction? James not getting an invite to Wadapalooza SoCal is a huge mistake.
Criminal. Fact.
Criminal.
It's criminal.
Fact. I think he should be there.
Yeah.
I get he's not a tier athlete, right? No, he's not a tier athlete. And I get they can invite who they want, but like he won competition last year.
Yeah.
He won the games last year. His podium this year, like he's one of the best North American guys right now, by far. So I think that it's interesting that he's not there. And I think in terms of having those boys together, I think just makes for a good show.
So Justin is invited. He is not a tier athlete.
Right.
James won the games while he was with tier. I think it's criminal.
It is. Especially if it has to do with someone not liking his manager. Like it comes down to being that petty.
So he and Guy share the same manager.
Okay.
And Guy got an invite.
Okay.
So we can probably dispel that rumor. I honestly think it's Instagram followers. James does not have 100,000 Instagram followers. Everybody on the list does. It's really between him and Pat Vellner.
I mean, I think you
right, because it's Hopper, Justin, Dallin, and Vellner on the American side.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like Pat, but I think James should be there.
James isn't one. Carolyn's right. The 4 of those boys together is going to be content gold.
Right.
Right. And I think as a whole, if you're tier, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Because that behind the scenes content is going to be amazing. I missed it. At least Pat's rested. That is true.
They're all going to be coming off of WFP though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're all competing, I'm not sure which one of those boys will be competing there.
I think they all are.
I'm interested to see Pat's rebound at this one versus his first WFP. Hope that he can put up a better showing.
Yep. I'm also excited to see that.
Which one doesn't fit? Hopper, Pepper, Medeiros, Fellner.
I mean, Medeiros in that lineup, to me, the way you have Vellner spelled wrong, but Medeiros doesn't fit if they were spelled correctly.
We have bigger spelling issues in this chat, just so you know.
I know we do. It stresses me out.
Maybe Dylan Miliski really dislikes James' religious talk. I don't think that's it. I think it comes down to Instagram followers and probably a long-term relationship with Pat Vellner and all of his wins at Wodapalooza and his long-term relationship with Tier. He's one of their oldest athletes.
Yeah.
Both literally and figuratively. That's probably what it is. It's probably something simple that we're trying to make a big mountain out of a molehill, but I think it would have been much cooler to have the 4 boys together and the content and they're all legit contenders. Like you're not putting them together just for the show. You're putting them together because they're awesome and it would be a good show.
I mean, yeah. Quite honestly, out of those 4 names, like if you take one of them out, I still think James should be in. I would say Medeiros should not be in, and James should be in.
Okay. 2-time champion, 7th at the games this year.
I mean,
James did better.
Honestly, James has done more than Pepper, if I'm being honest. Like, he's been on the podium
Pepper's
twice.
beat him twice at the games. I mean, James has beat Pepper twice.
Yeah.
Like we're not counting Pepper out. Like, James has done more than Dallin.
Right.
We've put Dallin on this higher pedestal the last couple of years, but James has outperformed him.
Yeah.
Even at the WFP, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I would, if you really want Pat there, I would probably get rid of one of the other boys.
Because James won Wodapalooza.
Right.
James took 2nd at WFP.
Right.
And he took 3rd at the games. And he won the games last year. Like, kids had a hell of a year.
Yep.
Pat better show up at WFP or this ages like milk.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Fact or Fiction for this week. If you guys ever have a thing that you think should be in our Fact or Fiction, send it to me, DM me. Good chance it'll make it up there. Trying to come up with 4 Fact or Fiction every week is a lot of fun for me, but I'd love for some input. Just saying. So where are we at? Masters Games workouts. This might be where we may save the WFP workouts for next week since we have a couple weeks on that one.
Okay.
It's probably where we're going to end tonight. If the chats between the 4 of us are any indication, this is going to take a minute.
Well, I mean, we could wait till next week because we don't know them all, and it might be premature to.
We'll need next week to do the other ones.
Well, maybe you do. Okay. Maybe we do WFP tonight and Masters next
Well,
Sunday.
WFP is a week after.
I know,
the
but we
Masters.
don't. We know all the WFP's workouts. We don't know all the Masters workouts.
All right, here we go. Let's start with workout number 1. I believe that our stats and information person, Holly Dugan, posted a running course, and the legends came back and said that was fake news.
Right.
Not really fake news, because right here we have a 7K run for time, and look at that. It's along the river, right where Holly said it was going to be. Thoughts on a 7K run?
I think anything single modality is a mistake. As much as I love a run, I will be the first to shit on a lift, and will equally shit on a straight run.
I think there's a lot of like single modality things before a cut. Like there's only 7 workouts before a cut. I don't love the single modality test. I think it just skews too much to specialists. I just want to see a more well-roundedness to an athlete than a specialized workout. But it's pretty long. Like I don't think we've seen many 7Ks in a lot of the CrossFit. I feel like they tend to go to like a 5K normally, so it's a little bit longer than that. But single modality tests, I just think skews the leaderboard too much. And especially when you have cuts, which I don't agree that cuts should happen. I've never been a proponent of cuts at all. Yeah, I just like there's not enough workouts to do something like this.
Yes.
There are 8 workouts, right? 8.
There's only 8 workouts. Over 4 days and 8 workouts, 2 things being single modality, I think is a big mistake. If there was 10 workouts, maybe I'd give it to you. Or if a couple of these were like a 2-parter on the floor with something into something else, both single modalities, yeah, maybe. But 8 workouts, not enough.
Really, like half of the field is getting 7 workouts. You have to think about that. Half of the field is getting cut, and you're giving 2 single modality tests right away. And I'll argue that another one is a single modality test as well.
Correct.
John George, this is dumb. CJ, single modality lift and run and 4 mixed tests.
Yeah, that's not good programming.
Not enough workouts to have single modality. When does the cut come? It comes right before the final event.
Saturday night is the cut, yes. And there's 2 workouts Thursday, 2 workouts Friday, 3 workouts Saturday, and 1 workout on Sunday.
Which I also think is stupid. You do a cut for 1 workout. Like, does the scoring change for 1 workout where that last workout is worth so many points? Or do you not adjust the scoring where now the last workout is worth barely nothing? Because your worst finish, let's say, is like 15th or whatever, however many you have in your division. Like, you're either making that workout be worth so much or so little.
Right.
And why are you making people stay for 1 day, for 1 workout? It's stupid.
Right.
Like, at least, I hope there's a 2-parter or something on that last day. Like, I just think 1 workout is...
I guess that's possible.
They ran out of barbells. Now Caroline's riffing. Let's go. That's absolutely asinine. All right. So then we have... We're just going to bounce all over because they don't put these in.
CJ asked, so if they throw running in the middle of that run, it's better.
I actually agree with that. I caught up to 4 people on the row. I think it's better than just a run.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think you should probably have something else in there. I actually thought, I knew that was going to be nearly impossible to do. And with the way the permit was pulled, I was pretty certain that wasn't happening. But I think even like kind of what NorCal did, like a 1K row buy-in into a 4 mile run, like pre-fatigue, and make the 1K a point, scored point too, so people can choose if they want to like push really hard there. Something other than a straight run. I mean, they just did this at 22, so the people that were in 22 just ran 5, and some of the people are running 5K. It's 7K, 6K, or 5K depending on your age group. But yeah.
All right. So 25.2 is heavy legacy, max clean and jerk, 20 seconds to lift. Then you have to reset, lift 2, lift 3, lift 4.
At least we get 4 lifts instead of 3. So 2 single modalities. Thankfully, they're opposite end of the spectrum. So I think you'll probably end up with like, I mean, a mix at the end of that day. But I hate
don't
it.
love it. Yeah,
I hate it.
So Doug Reed, Jamie is a runner. Like, she will kill the first event. So she's not saying that because it's bad for her. She's saying it because it doesn't make sense.
Right. Because I'm going to shit on the clean and jerk, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite and not shit on the run. I'm happy with the run event. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's applicable for the Masters CrossFit Games, age group games. I just don't think it's applicable.
Not with the amount of test given.
Right.
I think there's just a different way to test strength without going to resorting to a 1 rep max always.
Yep.
Jamie wants CrossFit.
1000%.
Me too.
All right. Then we go. We don't have 3, right?
We don't know 3 and 4, so we don't know anything on Friday. I can
So
tell
then-
you what it's going to entail, though, pretty much based on what we have left. I mean, it's going to be rope climb, pistol, GHD, sandbag carry probably is one of the workouts. And if I had to guess, like a wall walk thruster might be on the last day. So that would leave you with I don't know. There's like
Let's get through what we have. Let's get through it before we jump ahead. CrossFit wants to know, can we stop calling every workout XX.XX?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
They have names to their workouts.
I know. So why put the 25 point?
Yeah.
Why confuse it with the other?
Yeah, the open. Yeah.
All right. 4 rounds, 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest. Rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. Men 18, 17, 16, 15. Women 15, 14, 13, 12. Of handstand push-ups, calorie echo bike, and then max double unders. Race to 300 total. So if you get to 300 on the second round, you're done.
Correct. Which
You won't.
no.
Not on second, no.
Just throwing the hypothetical out there.
I think the handstand push-ups here for the 35 to however many, at least 35 to 49 at least, is completely irrelevant.
Correct.
Like, it's not that many. It's unbroken. It's fast. It's kipping. It comes down to your echo bike power output and then not tripping on any of the double unders and just like your cycle speed of the double under. I did this workout and I finished and I was like, I don't even know what we're testing here. Like, like I just did it and I was like, oh, like this is just going to be echo. Like, I just got to push that echo bike because that's
right.
Like, that's where it's won, because you can't make up any time on your handstand push up too much, and your cycle speed of your double unders is your cycle speed. You move up
Right.
every 50. So I guess it depends how, like, what the distance is for the double unders, but I think the echo bike will be the big thing here. Like, I don't foresee any of the top challengers in the divisions having any difficulty with that volume of handstand push-ups anyways.
Yeah, the handstand push-up does not balance the bike in this one. It needs to be double the handstand push-ups or half the bike. So you could have done 18 strict, but you could have done 18 handstand push-ups, 9 calorie bike, double unders. And then you're equal, pretty much a little more equal on time between the two movements. I don't like that it favors the echo.
I just think also like a guy doing 18 cals to a girl doing 15 cals on a sprint echo bike, like the way that men can power an echo bike or like just an assault bike in general, like even I know they're doing more handstand push-ups, but I still think that they are so much faster at the sprinting pace of an echo bike than what the females can output sometimes. But yeah, I think short one, at least there's more than one movement here.
It's a power output. Same athlete who finished high in the clean and jerk kills this, just in my opinion.
Yep.
A cat says strict for sure.
I just think with the kipping and that few of reps, like you're well recovered in the minute. Like you're not.
So Clock says, I love this program and we need more of it at other contests. CrossFat says, is Clock Bob or Joe?
Oh.
But I don't know in the other divisions if that gets challenging for the handstand push-ups. I can only speak for, I think, the 35 to, I would assume, the 49 division.
So yes, and that would be my other complaint is the older age groups are not well accounted for. There's been a lot of comments in our Signal app of people already like, what's the scale for this? Like, so we're just going to be standing there looking at the wall. And yeah, you got to think critically for these older age groups. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do, but for the first 3 rounds, you do something different. In the 4th round, you do your handstand push-ups. And then the people who have them, and they can get further.
CrossFit, this one is presented by a programming company, but it was not programmed by that company. It was presented by Boulder Athlete. All right, so that's the 5th event. And then
that's the first one on Saturday.
Then we have the 7th event.
Good old 3 minutes.
6 is there, right?
Yeah, you missed 6.
You missed 6.
Why couldn't they release them in order?
There it is.
All right. 3 AMRAP, 3 minutes. Gosh, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 axle bar deadlifts, 80-foot sled push.
Another power output for you. I feel like the sled has to be light.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you have to make it, like, if you're just pushing the sled the whole time and you do 6 deadlifts in the workouts or 9 deadlifts, like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Like, it has to be a sled that you move fast, right? Like, I've seen people put, like 6 45s on their sleds. I'm like, if we're doing that, like, we may as well just do 3-minute AMRAP of max sled push, because the deadlift means nothing. I still think the 3 deadlift means nothing. It's just an annoyance in the workout. I don't think it's that heavy. Like 3 reps is easy for people to hold on to. You start putting 5, 6, 7, then people think about it more before picking up. I think 3 is. I mean, I do have a good deadlift, but like, I think this is just a sled push workout. Capacity, your legs are gonna be burning for sure.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one.
Lex asked earlier if Rogue was outfitting. Presented by Rogue, so I'm assuming yes.
There we go.
John, I'm not really talking about the 55 plus. I'm talking about the 65 plus. 65 and the 70 plus, since they're new. The 70s, I think they have gotten some skills at this point, but
sleds just like make me a little bit nervous in a comp, because it really, like, we've had good sled events and then we've had times where there's just faster lanes. Like, there's just a lot with friction in sleds that we just saw it in High Rocks. They had new
turf,
new mat, new turf, or whatever they had, and I just hope that's not a big factor in the workout and it can be pretty consistent. I just hope it's consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't post what the sled weight was, so I'm assuming they're going to wait till they get there and they kind of test it out. Like, I'm wondering if we have to turn the sled or if there's post on both sides. Like, all of those factors are going to be playing a role in your score. That's for sure.
Larry Young, another power output for you.
Yep.
All right. Now we go to 7.
So this is the last event on Saturday night before the cuts.
We have 5 rounds for time, 6 ring muscle ups, 9 overhead squats, 12 box jump overs.
And it's 30 inches and 24 for the box.
Yep.
And the overhead squats are 115 for my division for the females. For the men, is it 165?
I believe so. Yes.
9-minute time cap.
Yeah, 9 minutes.
I don't foresee. I haven't tried this one yet. I don't think that many in a lot of the divisions will finish.
Agreed. I think it's overprogrammed for the time cap. And if their issue is because they're trying to cram 3 workouts in this day, then they should have made it lighter or normal box jumps and pushed the intensity on this workout to try to finish in 9 minutes. I like on paper, I like the workout.
I like this workout. I like this workout. On
I
paper.
do too, but everyone needs to finish it then.
Because it's different if you know you're not finishing. Let's say you're pacing for 4 rounds versus 5. Like, it's just a different type of strategy you'll go for.
Right.
I'll do this one this upcoming week. I'll test it. But I had a friend test it at 125 on the overhead squats and didn't finish it, and it's a good competitor. Not in the Masters, in a semifinal athlete, a semifinal. Yeah. So
yeah, I haven't heard of anyone finishing it, even.
So that makes me curious. Like, I'm sure at 115 she would finish it, but I think a 9-minute time cap for all the divisions. Like, you're gonna get one to 3, 1 to 4 people maybe finish it.
Yeah, it's overprogrammed.
On the female side, maybe. It's not overprogrammed. It's just the time cap, I think, is off. Because I think this is a good event, but I think the time cap.
Good event. Then make it on Sunday, or like it shouldn't have fit. It shouldn't have gone here if time is an issue. If you are limited by a 9-minute time cap, then you have to program it and you have to program it for intensity, and you have to make it a little lighter, or you make it 5 ring muscle ups. I don't know. You do something. I like the workout, but if you're limited by time, then you got to program it correctly.
Yeah, on paper, this is the nicest one that they have for sure.
Yes,
by far.
John George, did they test this? Clearly not. Good workout, massive miss on the time cap. Cat should be a 12-minute cap at least.
What I was thinking. Yep.
Like, I think it's doable in 8 minutes, but I just don't think many people have that capacity in this. Like, at the.
I want to see someone other than Colton Mertens finish this in 8 minutes. I will be surprised if someone can finish this. I'd like to see Taylor try it. I know the overhead squats would not be what he wants to do, but he's so excellent at ring muscle ups that I'd be curious. I don't know. I think I just
basically programming a logjam scoring outcome of an AMRAP.
Exactly right. And the problem with this is everything is power output or strong biased, and you need the gymnastics in this one to balance out those other scores. And if people are getting stopped in round 4 or 5, you don't get that last round where people are going to fall apart on gymnastics to level that back out.
You have a monostructural, you have a weightlifting, you have gymnastics with 2. I can't remember what they are. Anyway, so far, so balanced and varied. 1 long, 1 heavy, 2 medium, 1 short. So far, these are balanced by the standard of CrossFit programming and methodology. Thoughts on that context?
I think you also have to look at what the crux of the workout is. Like, there's some movements in workouts that are irrelevant, that they're just you're touching it, but that's not where there's no change of the race. There's no big factor there. like those box jumps, I don't think are with the step down. Like you're not making up too much there. The handstand push-ups and the other one are not really relevant.
CrossFat says not nuanced enough, Pack, and time kind of makes this timing wise odd.
Right.
Do the older divisions have front squats instead of overhead squats? Because I know that's a difficult movement, especially with the older age group. I didn't look if it was changed at all to maybe another type of squat.
I don't think so. I think
That's
other than the 70 who have chest to bar, I think this is even ring muscle ups for 65 plus. I'd have to go into the competition corner to get.
CrossFat says drop the overs, and this workout's better.
I think it's fine. I like the box jump. I just think that it just needs a little bit more time. Like I just think it wasn't tested for the group that's going to be taking the test, because you want at least a third to finish in your in each division. Or at least you would think.
60 plus half front squat.
That makes sense.
So it looks like they may have gone in and they may have gotten enough feedback that they've gone. Looks like for 60 and 65, they did chest to bar for the first 3 rounds and then ring muscle ups in round 4. So they may have taken some criticism already and made some adjustments, which that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But a lot of movements left on their little page thing. And what do we have left? 3 workouts?
Yes.
And I think 11 movements left.
Yeah. If you go to 1, I think it should show everything that's crossed out.
I think there's some interesting movements in there for this.
I mean, you got GHD, rope climb, pistol, sandbag carry.
To me, GHD and pistol stands out for masters.
With rope climb, I would venture to say.
But I'm surprised to see GHD and pistols there. Is
you
what
are?
I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm surprised to see pistols. There's been some chatter about that too.
Like I love pistols. Like I grew up doing pistols with hockey. But I'm surprised to see it there. Like we haven't been seeing it even that much with the regular individuals. So I'm surprised that that's a movement there. And I'm sure it'll get scaled to lunging or something like that. But I don't know if. I don't know.
CrossFit, that was bar muscle ups last year, not ring. So here's the movement list that you asked me to pull up, Jamie. They have not taken off the ring muscle ups, the overhead squats, and the box jump overs yet.
Oh, well then maybe it's on workout.
This is the latest release.
Yeah, they probably didn't remove it because they
go on the 7th. No, wait.
Yeah, go into the ring muscle up workout. Yeah.
So we have.
Yeah, they crossed more off there.
So that one you just take off the running as well.
Right.
So we have 1, 2. Yeah, 11 more movements for 3 workouts, which I like because I mean that means that you're gonna have
4, and 3.
More well-roundedness.
So I'm guessing we're gonna have more of like a 12 to 15 minute workout on Friday.
I hope so. Yeah, it's missing that time domain right now.
Yeah.
Because even the one that's like the 2 minutes on, like there's small little sprints, like it's short, and 9 is short. Yeah, there'll be some sort of chipper for sure.
CrossFit, this was the next to last release. The last release was running, but its chart isn't as up to date as this one is. So running is off this list.
You are allowed to jump off the box. That is a safety thing for shorter athletes. If you've ever watched Colton, how much that strains when he's forced to step down from a 30 because it's a 30-inch box. It's
Yeah, it's more dangerous to almost step down for some.
It is. But you are not allowed to rebound. So if you
Yeah.
choose to jump off that taller box, you need to stop and then jump back up. But it makes sense. I get what they were trying to do.
Yeah, because that's difficult on the hips, right? Like the knees, the hips, kind of. It's an awkward movement to not jump down from.
Larry Young, $4.99 super chat last year. The complaint was they didn't give older athletes tough gymnastics. I think what they're starting to do is there for the older groups, the gymnastics starts less skilled and gets more skilled as you go through the workout if it's long enough to allow that.
Right.
Yeah, like you would have like the first 2 rounds would be chest to bars. Then you would go into, I don't know.
Well, this one's ring muscle up.
Yeah, let's say the first 3 rounds are chest to bars and the last 2 rounds are ring muscle ups.
Yeah, that's what this one is.
And you decrease the reps of the ring muscle ups to 3. Yeah. So that you still allow those to shine while not having a bunch of athletes have a score of 0.
Exactly.
Because you still want to be able to challenge them and see what the division can do in a progressive way.
Yep.
For sure.
Someone asked earlier if the 3-minute workout would take less time than me setting up my media equipment. Yes, it will, but I still don't have any information about media for the CrossFit Games for Masters. So I might be there as a spectator. And if I am, so be it.
I think they're
get to hang out with my people.
I think they're just busy getting this stuff out this week. They haven't, I don't know.
Other media have received stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I said something wrong. Who knows?
Well, we're probably not helping you shitting on the programming, so sorry.
The 3-minute one's going to be the most painful one, though, I think, so far.
Oh, it's going to hurt for sure.
That's going to hurt. That's going to be a tough one on the legs.
It almost needs to be lighter so that you're like trying to run it because that's what blows you up.
Well, yeah, it gets your heart rate up, and it kind of offsets the 7K in terms of it's a sprinty speed thing.
Yeah.
Like without making people pull their hammies on a full-on sprint. But yeah, if it's going to be heavy where you're walking slowly and you don't get to do that many deadlifts, then it's just kind of like, what was the point of that? So
agree.
You would think that it's somewhat light, that you're running, getting to the barbell, moving, having heavy legs, pushing that sled.
Yeah.
I just wish the deadlift had at least 5 reps. Because I don't think 3 separates there. It just becomes... Like, what do you think? You don't like deadlift. Do you think 3 is that many on the spot?
I just think a 3-minute workout is stupid. We did a short workout last year that was it's just dumb. With the overhead squat. That
was a range of motion one. I remember watching that one last year.
Yeah. And I almost think, and I know it's only 3, but I think there will be some questionable deadlifts.
Crystal Hummer, my husband did the 3-minute one today. It was rough.
Yeah, I bet.
Crystal, what did he use for the sled?
Vicky wants to know who I pissed off. It just happens.
I just think they're busy.
People are sensitive. We just talk about things in a general way. If you're going to be in the space, you're going to be criticized. It's just what people do. I'm no Stephen A. Smith or Nick Wright. I'm just here having fun with my friends on a Sunday night.
Yeah. I don't know. This seems to be trending towards a Bob and Joe programming. To me, it's a semifinals event. 8 scores, power output. It's just like a semis for indies is what it looks like. It surprises me. I thought I was under the impression that HQ was going to review the programming. I'd be curious what collaboration went on between Pitt and Legends since it's all together. And I don't know if some workouts were written by one person and some were written by another, but it seems to me like HQ didn't review any of these workouts. And I don't see. If I had to guess, I would say Pitt programmed the Echo bike handstand push-up workout.
Do you think that would be a better test if it was a more handstand push-ups, then double unders, and then you finish on the bike?
So that would be like last year's workout.
A little bit, yeah, because you guys had chest to bars, double unders, chest to bars, and then finish on the bike.
Correct.
But make the gymnastics at least, and the double unders, like let's say it was, I don't know, a little bit more double unders, or a little bit more handstand push-ups, then you do like 75 double unders into your bike or something. I think would be a little bit more balanced.
I just think it should have been a completely different test this year. I think they should have done something other than double unders and biking. We did an interval of double unders and biking last year. Let's test something different.
I've never been a fan of ending on the double unders. Like there was a workout, at least they're moving up every 50.
Is that good though? Like I could see me tripping at 48, having to restart, get 2, have to move forward, and then the time goes up. Like, just let me go work for the 30 seconds that I have to work.
Yeah, I don't love that, but yeah, I don't know.
Meredith Jones says
I like that there's a finish line, at least like a number that you finish to, versus you're kind of waiting to see where you are in the race. But there are three workouts left, so hopefully there's some good stuff coming.
It's foolish you're such a spokesman for the Masters. I would argue there's no other show that talks about Masters more than we talk about Masters. And we promote Masters more than anybody else. We go to Masters events more than anybody else. However, that doesn't always mean you're not going to get, and I'll say it sucks. It sucks bad. Like, I hate that I have to beg and fight and claw for everything every year to get this. We put out an 11 episode behind the scenes of the Masters CrossFit Games last year. That should be proof enough alone that we are there to work. We are there to put together a product, and we are there to do something that the Masters never get from anybody else. And yet every year we fight and we fight and we fight.
Yep.
And it's really getting old.
Agreed.
So
friends, go comment on the post and say, look forward to seeing Clydesdale media coverage at the event.
Either way, I'll be there. Like, my friends are competing. Like, all the people in the chat that I love to hang out with, they're going to be there competing, and I'll be there rooting them all on, and I'll get content for them from the stands, if that's what I have to do.
So right now we're missing 2 workouts before the cut, and then the finale.
Correct. All of Friday's workouts were missing.
Yeah, all of Friday's workouts. And Larry, it's not that I don't like that. I just don't like where they're placed in the workout. I think it puts a lot of pressure sometimes, like on the judge counting correctly as well. Just like a few factors there. But it is what it is. It's the workouts, and they're not going to change. And we do our best with them.
Well, we went.
I just think like when I did it, I was like, I finished and I was like, I don't know that this was that, like, I don't know what we're testing for here.
As I told you guys, talking about the Masters programming, I knew we were going to go long and we would not have time to hit WFP, which we did not. So we will touch on that either next week or the week after. Still got a couple weeks for WFP. And so we'll talk about that programming then. And hopefully we'll have at least, my guess is you're not going to know the finale until the weekend of, but we may have the other 2 by next week. And we'll probably touch on those.
we are supposed to have everything by the 15th. I don't know if that includes the finale, to be honest. That might be reserved to release after the cut. But we should have Friday's events and schedule by Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, guys, it's been a fun hangout tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm. You guys have been awesome the last few weeks, months. We have gone up by over 500 new subscribers in the last month, and that has been awesome. We appreciate each and every one of you and love hanging out with you and getting your questions during these shows. With that, everybody have a great night. Have a great start to your week tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with Lunch with the Clydesdale. Until then, everybody have a great night. Bye, guys.